the head coach of
Yeah.
Sac State men's basketball. We try to behave when you're around, coach, man.
Yeah.
The other 3 hours and 40 minutes, all bets are off. But we try to act right when you're around, man.
Did I ask Coach this? Coach, you like boxing?
Yeah, back in the day. Yeah.
No.
The
That's
new
what happens
box.
with a lot of people. They liked it back in the day, and now it's a
Yeah.
jumbled mess. It's a jumbled mess now. I get it.
Yeah,
I understand.
I get it. Yeah. But
What's
I like
coach need boxing for? His basketball team's fighting for their life every game that they play. Like, y'all are the least boring team in the conference, coach.
You ain't lying. I be trying to box them dudes sometimes.
So Sac State got a win over the weekend. But this one was like you guys have had like come from behind wins, games you come from behind and it's really close. Is the demeanor a little different when you're up and you get to within 5 seconds and that lead to has shrunk to one? Is the post game demeanor a little different?
It was kids night or kids day at the Nest, so I had to make sure my demeanor was met. But it was, I mean, it was. But at the end of the day, I look at it in the NBA games and even the games going on in college basketball. All these wins, you can't take anything for granted. Even the NFL playoffs on the weekend, you saw the Jaguars come back from behind. So, like, if those professional guys are slipping, like, how can I expect my guys to be perfect? But we'll take it out. We'll take the win, but it was a lot of lessons learned.
Hey, Coach, there's one guy that I wanted to ask you about because we talk all the time about Zach and the season that he's had. He's done a phenomenal job. Caleb, he's been phenomenal as well. But when I watch you guys play, one guy that sticks out to me is kind of a glue guy who does a lot of things underrated that I think people kind of overlook is Austin Patterson. I really like his game. I like what he brings to the table. And is that kind of how you look at him as like a glue guy? Like, hey, if we need a big shot, we run something for Austin, or he can get a sneaky little slash to the basket in an N1 or something like that. I just really like his game.
No, you're on it, man. He leads us in minutes played. I think he averages like 30, 31 minutes a game. I never take him out unless he asks for it. But what he does doesn't always see. He gives so much guys space on the floor because his ability to shoot. He's tougher than people would think, because he's only a sophomore. And he does make big plays for us, whether it's a drive to the basket or a big three. We're only up 5 the other night, and they hit a big three to put us up 8. He does some stuff that doesn't always – the lay fan doesn't see. But I'm glad you're able to see it because he's a big piece of what we're doing.
Yeah, I like his game.
Yeah, he was 3 of 6 from 3 the other night. Is how important is it for you to lay out like expectations to guys like Austin and Caleb? Like this is do your players know exactly what you want from them every game?
They do, and I can be harder on some of them. I'm hard on Austin and I'm hard on Callum, and because they have that position in the team, and I hold them to a high degree. Obviously, Zach gets the same hard treatment they get because I have high expectations for them, but they set the expectations because how they approach the preseason, how they've started the year, and how they've been playing. So they definitely know where they're at, and I let the team know who's getting what shots and what's expected from each guy.
Coach, in one of the practices that I came to before the season, I got to get back into the practice, man. I like checking out the practice. But one of the things that was really stressed during the whole time I was there, at least, defense for sure, but finishing off the defensive possession with rebounding. And it seems to have paid off. You guys are one of the best rebounding teams in the Big Sky. Is it to your liking right now? Is it satisfactory for you, or do you think there's another level on the boards that you guys can achieve?
I think there's a whole nother level. I mean, that's kind of our deal. We won Thursday night against Northern Colorado and beat them by 13 on the glass. And then we come back against NAU and we're up 10 at halftime, and then the game gets tied up on the glass. So there's a level where we take our foot off the gas, because for me that's what wins in college basketball: defending and rebounding. Because we're so big. That's a way to put our physicality and impose our size, on our opposition. So I think we still have another level we can get to do it on a consistent basis.
How many guys do you have returning from last year's squad, Coach?
What? 2 that really play, in terms of Zach and Cam Wilbon. The other 3 Rick Barrett's been hurt. Xavier Ford was a walk-on, and Chris Holly, the local kid, has been injured. So, and those guys were all young kids last year, and Teo Hardy, but they didn't play a lot because they were young players, but two that play and played meaningful minutes.
But you guys have already matched last year's win total. But already this year, you're already at 11 wins. Team finished 11-18 last year. And I always wonder, especially in college where the turnover is so great now with the transfer portal, new coach, new coaching staff, is there value in that? Do you recognize that, like with the guys who have been around, like, hey, look at the growth that we've had? Or is that just kind of like a talking point for me and Casey?
Look, I'm aware, as a staff, but I don't talk about it to the team. I can tell you our internal goals when I got here, we've exceeded them because, and it's hard to win one college basketball game, let alone two or three. And so to get double-digit wins in your first year is kind of your goal as a new coach, and we've probably obviously superseded that. So now I hope, after being around this team, like, I don't know what our goal is. I don't think there's anybody left on our schedule that we shouldn't beat, and I firmly believe that. Obviously, every game is going to be a fight, but I've raised the expectation level of this group, and we'll reflect on, what year one is, at the end of the year. But I try to play these games in one season increments.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, I saw some stuff yesterday where you guys were at the MLK walk. You guys were at the one at Sac City, right?
We were the one that started at Sac City and went around Land Park and Broadway.
Yeah. How was that, man? Your first one out here? They've been doing that one out here, same route, everything. Did they go all the way down to the convention center with it yesterday?
No, they didn't go to convention center. They came up.
That might have been the other MLK march that happened.
Hey, Coach, when I was a little kid, my mom used to take me out there. We used to go from Sac City to the convention center, walking all. I'm like, jeez, goodness gracious, Rainer's time. But I think they changed out the route a little bit now, man. But how was that being out there for the first time?
Oh man, it was awesome. I mean, we practiced beforehand and then we went out there, and I didn't want to make it mandatory because it's kind of their day off. But most of our guys went out there and was amongst the community here. But to be in that situation was awesome, really awesome for our guys. More importantly, to see the amount of people that came out there, all walks of life. It wasn't a whole, it was every creed and color up in there. Was also for our group. And we got to meet Counselor Rick Jennings on the way on the walk, which is really cool. And he spit some knowledge to our guys of him being a former athlete and where that led him to. So for me, that was the biggest win of the day for our guys to hear someone of his stature that looks like us talk about his journey. And obviously the journey of Dr. King.
Coach, me and Kenny have been, singing your praises all season long, singing your praises, since the hire. But we dropped down on the pecking order when Mike Brown stops his press conference and starts talking about supporting Coach DP in Sac State. What did that mean for you? And then, of course, Mike Brown, De'Aaron Fox, and his wife Rasay came to attend the game as well. What did it mean for you to have the support of those guys last week?
Man, look, it was awesome. And I had no clue Mike was gonna do that till I got home from from practice, and they told me that Mike talked about it. And then I thanked him for saying it. And then the next day it was like, man, DP, I need tickets to the game. So I'm like, shoot, okay, he's coming to the game. So obviously that was great. And I know how he feels about me as a person, but for him to obviously put that out in the media, just means a lot from a mentor who's had so much success. He's got so much stuff going on. For him to take time to think about me and Sac State, because this is not his alma mater by any sense, was great. And then to have De'Aaron text me, maybe it was 3 hours before my game, like, D, what you doing? Do you have tickets for me? I should have said no. But I'm joking. But I was like, of course, and he reached out, out of the blue, because I know, he's a Kentucky alum, and I never want to take these guys on their off days to come to a game. So it was great to see him there. And then the message he had for our team after the game, De'Aaron, was even more inspirational for an all-star to take time out of his schedule. And Mike just speaks volumes for the kind of people they are.
Yeah, no, that was really dope to see, man. Hey, man, 4-1 in the Big Sky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These guys stay working out. These boys working out there. I love to see it. Who you got this? Idaho State and Weber State on the
Both
road.
on the road.
Yeah, so getting your boys ready for it. Huh?
Yeah, both tough ones. Idaho State was 4-0, and they dropped their last two, so that they'll be hungry to get back on their winning ways. And then Weber State's always a tough time out. They're good. Obviously, Dame Lillard went there, but that's a real time program. But we try to focus on Idaho State, man. I've never been to Idaho so much in my life, so
that's for the tournaments there too, right? Tournaments
it's there again, man. So, yeah, I'd never been to that state ever in my life, and now I've been there twice in 2 weeks. So maybe a new holiday destination, but we'll try to come out of there with one win, hopefully two.
Coach, what are you doing this holiday? Going to Idaho. What are you doing? All right, Coach. That's all right. Good luck this week, Coach. We're looking forward to I'm sure another heart-stopping game from your squad out there, man. But we appreciate you. We'll be dialed in.
No, I appreciate you guys as always.